How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. Feel free to follow us on Snapchat and make sure to subscribe and put on post notifications. We are in fact talking about a very exciting cryptocurrency today, Cardano ADA. So when it comes to Cardano ADA, we definitely have to talk about the Shelley project and of course the question of the decentralized cryptocurrency and the ultimate advantage a cryptocurrency has by being decentralized. You see, the future is decentralized. We talk about this all the time. It's almost a central theme of the content that we make on this channel, and ultimately I think Cardano definitely does have a very fundamental idea of that concept, the decentralization, and ultimately how there's a fundamental flaw in the centralized components of these sort of technologies moving forward. It's sort of an oxymoron to think of a centralized cryptocurrency, and really as time goes on I become smarter in my old age and I think of the more centralized cryptocurrencies as a joke, really. And I think that really the centralized cryptocurrencies, unless they're really, I mean, in the case of Ripple XRP, the fact that the question of, I mean, really, I think of Ripple when I think of a centralized cryptocurrency. I'm going to talk about it for a second here. I mean, there is a lot of, we talk about in previous videos how, the establishment is, of course, expressed interest in Ripple, which I think makes it stand out. But another blanket statement, the fact that centralized cryptocurrencies, I think, will ultimately prove to fall by the wayside. Possibly Ripple excluded due to the fact that there are some indications of Ripple on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and the fact that it might be handpicked just for that whole element of, I mean, sure, Ripple is working to be more decentralized, but I mean, as far as Cardano, I mean, I was looking at this article, it's obviously about the Shelley project and, full decentralization. I mean, this is big. This is important. I've been doing also some research into the founder of Cardano and looking into the team that's working on this project, and it is interesting to see how these things have been developing, and of course the technology that's working behind it is unprecedented. So I mean, when we see the different news articles regarding Cardano, I find these entertaining. A Global Coin Report, of course, Cardano could bring in the next crop of crypto millionaires by 2020. I mean, exciting stuff. I mean, there's certainly a lot of time in between today, 2018, and 2020, but hey, I mean, that goes both ways. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, am I right? I mean, time goes by pretty fast. But I mean, it is interesting to see how the news regarding Cardano, and I'm definitely excited to be seeing how things are going to be going. And a little bit less than a week now, on the 15th of August, things are going to get pretty interesting, I think, and I'm certain that the Cardano community is definitely paying attention to what's going to happen. And I mean, there are people who've been talking about the possibility of a bull run. I mean, I certainly think that over the course of the long term, Cardano is certainly a big opportunity. I mean, from my personal opinion, definitely a very interesting Cardano. I mean, we see things like, of course, you take into consideration the fact that Bitcoin was essentially digital gold, the introduction of cryptocurrency into the public consciousness, but then we discover the fact that Ethereum really revolutionized that concept and brought us into the next second generation of cryptocurrency, which I would term as the ultimately was the smart contracts. And then we see what Cardano is aiming for, and it's definitely interesting to see what this technology is going to really take us into, the paradigm shift that's happening involving cryptocurrency at this time. And I mean, it is interesting to see the market cap where it currently is at 258 billion. And certainly there is a long way to go, but it is interesting. Also, I was looking at this news article by Smart Ethereum, and I mean, obviously you guys should follow these guys on Twitter. I mean, obviously follow all these people on Twitter. I mean, definitely follow Cardano on their Twitter as well. It is important to follow these people and stay involved with the conversation that's happening on social media. But all that being said, I mean, this article is pretty interesting. I mean, pretty bold claim here, 8,000%, but I mean, I'm with it. If that happens, that'd be pretty awesome. But ultimately, I mean, Cardano's name popping up next to Google. I mean, when we think about the long-term potential for Cardano, it is interesting to see how these things come together. And ultimately, my hopes are high as far as the potential for this technology moving forward. But of course, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Since obviously video for entertainment, educational purposes only. But all that being said, I mean, we're seeing pictures of nice cars. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty interested in seeing what's going to happen with Cardano. I mean, obviously, I take these different news articles with a grain of salt. I mean, I don't trust CNN or anything like that. I mean, I pretty much do my own research and approach this from a data, analytical perspective. And ultimately, I think that it is interesting to see where Cardano is going to go. Now, if you really want to understand Cardano, I'd recommend that you do some research into the founder of Cardano. And this article right here was pretty interesting, just to hear the sort of language that he uses on talking about Ethereum Classic. It's definitely something that I would recommend everybody check out. And Cardano really does sort of have that strong intelligence behind it when you look at the people who are behind the project. Of course, any cryptocurrency that I see their name right along something like Google definitely is something that's worth noting, and especially when we see the positive attention that Cardano's been getting, having its name listed alongside these others with terms like bull run. It is interesting to see how a lot of these different analysis have pointed in this technology, and ultimately I do have to share in the general sentiment. Cardano really does have a good idea of where the future is headed, and when you look at the roadmap and what they seek to accomplish, the Cardano team really do seem to be tuned in and tapped into the conversation that's happening currently involving cryptocurrency, especially when it comes to regulations. And I think that where a lot of other cryptocurrencies fall short, well, that's actually where Cardano is going to be really having a lot of its success. And ultimately, I think that there's a lot of time in between right now and when we're going to see mass adoption beginning to take place. But I'm in particular very excited in seeing how Cardano is going to be developing and coming into its own. And it's really one of those cryptocurrencies that seems as if the community that's built around it is among the most aware and educated in the whole space. But that's also very tongue-in-cheek, because I mean, there's some smart people who are interested in all sorts of cryptocurrencies. But I think that as far as looking at how the establishment goes, it's not forced. It's essentially an organic community, and it's mostly built with like cited information, is what I'm saying, and news sources that are validated. And Cardano does speak for itself on a lot of these tokens when you look at what they're accomplishing, and of course seeking to accomplish within the year time frame. I believe 2019 is going to be an interesting year for this technology. So in this video, we're going to be discussing Cardano and a lot of the really significant details that could be playing a big part moving forward, especially in the world that we're currently seeing, and especially with all the developments that happen now, with more people all around the world being connected by the internet and getting phones and smartphones and being connected in that global community. But I think Cardano definitely does have an idea of where things are going to go.